I do think everything I write is in the same universe. I think the Daleks could come around a corner at any moment, frankly. And wouldn't that be a good Canal Street drama? The screaming. Oh, my days.
Right, well, thank you very much for popping in. And I don't think we've got to do this sort of like when we're not shouting and screaming and hollering in a street, protesting about something or at some sort of glitzy ceremony.
You mean that we normally meet at Pride, but you could be describing your Saturday night at any day of the week, really. But no, it is nice to see you in calm circumstances. Yeah. Thank you. Why haven't I got my own slot in here? Why haven't I got my own show?
Come on. Beats me. Let's make it happen. Did you hear it? RTD wants his show. Let's make it happen. I feel like there's a lot to get through, actually, just because we've got a bit of space to stretch our legs now. First of all, the most recent thing that that's happened to you, congratulations. I'm not sure what that word is. I should have looked it up in Welsh, but...
Oh, yes, long. Don't try. Don't go there.
I can do Borodar and something about something naughty that somebody told me once many years ago. But congratulations to your outstanding contribution to television from BAFTA Cymru.
Thank you. That's a very great honour. I can't help thinking the words outstanding contribution makes it sound like the script is late. You know, like Russell, your contribution is still outstanding. Where is it? It was due on September the 1st. Where is it? So that
you got an extension.
That phrase is haunting me. It's like a deadline. But I'm mocking and laughing, and I'm really very, very honoured. I'm a lucky man. I get treated very well. And yes, that was from BAFTA Cymru. And obviously, I'm a Welshman. I'm from Swansea. So that means an awful lot. It's very kind and we had a lovely night. I did not get drunk. I just had a nice time and celebrated with good friends and colleagues. It was a laugh.
Wonderful. I'm glad that it's a nice, because it can be quite long and drawn out, these ceremonies.
Oh, it was that as well. It's funny when you know you're coming last, because obviously the big awards like that come at the end. I mean, what a first world problem. Please don't weep any bitter tears for me. I was very well looked after.
Yeah, you've got to sit through the entire thing. God, is it my turn? Yeah.
I know. This is a little bit like that. But no, you've got to celebrate everyone else as well. Yeah. Happy days.
I mean, let's talk about the speech that you gave as well. You know, it's not the first time that you've delivered
I love
an oration. Is that a word?
I love a speech. I'm terrible. Something awful must have happened in my youth, or a microphone must have fallen into my pram. And I was probably singing karaoke at 6 years old. But
you're a great writer. You're a great orator, and you always know what to say. And you've got your finger on the zeitgeist, I think, and managed to summarise.
Well, I think there are things to be said, and I'm surprised when other people don't use public chances, opportunities and microphones to make speeches, because frankly I think the world is sliding into hell. And there is a lot to be said, especially in our community. There are very strange things happening. So yes, you can make a speech where you say thank you very much everyone, and that's a lovely speech. That speech is owed to a lot of people who've been very wonderful to me over the years. But park that. All right, I'll buy you a coffee, not a drink, just a coffee. It's cheaper. But I think when you've got a platform like that, then it's time to say things. And so I did. It's banging around online places, but I think there is as I said, there's a timidity creeping into television. The world is so mad. Politics are so volatile. Opinions are so wild. And there is terror creeping into our lives. That actually... They haven't broadcast the first half of the speech. Can I tell you the first half of the speech?
You may.
Yes, it's actually a trans rights speech. They only cut it for time. They didn't do this on purpose. But I was talking about a lot of other gay writers. There's a very fine writer called Harry Tanner who writes books, who writes non-fiction books. Okay. And he's written a very excellent book called The Queer Thing About Sin, which is the history of homophobia. And he gave a speech last week in which he said, I have tracked the provenance of the cruelty that stalks our lives. He's an amazing man. He's a very impressive man. And the point is, he recently had a book signing of his own book. He sat there signing copies. A woman came up to him, said, can you sign this? This is for my wife. And he said, certainly. And she leaned across and said, actually, she's a trans woman. Lovely, very great, he said. And then she burst into tears and leaned in close and said, we are terrified.
Oh.
And that's Britain. That's our society in 2025. Where people are living in terror of the law and the government and society. This is absolutely intolerable. So that's why I gave this speech to this room full of television professionals, because this isn't a matter for drama, just drama. This affects the news, this affects programming, this is entertainment, this is factual, this is our whole broadcasting environment is timid, I think, at a time when we need to be strong.
Yeah.
And I deal every day with compliance. What compliance is, it's a legal process that all television, I think radio programs go through. You must go through compliance.
Well,
where you can't say what you like on air in case you slander someone. In case I can't make criminal accusations against someone. or infer things about people illegally. So compliance is a very necessary process to make sure that we're not all getting sued night and day. But compliance is now becoming a censor, not allowing you to say on television an opinion about anything. Or if you do state an opinion, it has to be eternally, dreadfully, terribly balanced. And life isn't balanced. Passion isn't balanced. Falling in love isn't balanced. And tough issues aren't balanced. So there's this terrible balance creeping into the whole broadcasting network where they're becoming scared of ideas. And it's reaching the stage of censorship where if I was a young writer, I mean, look, I'm old and seasoned and leathery, frankly. And if I sit at home and have an idea, I know how to get it made. I know the battles I'll have to fight. I know the people to go to. I know the things to say. But if you're 18 years old or 21 years old, and you're facing this wall of compliance that is saying you can't do this, you can't say that, you can't mention Gaza, you can't mention Israel, you can't mention trans, you can't mention anti-trans, you can't mention anything, then we're creating this incredibly bland world that's just not true. We're all talking about it on the streets to each other out here. So I think the whole media is in danger, and I think that needs to be fought. See, that was my speech. There we go. I'm off. I can't help it. I'm talking speeches.
This is the unredacted version. One might argue, especially if you work in media, it's not just rather an issue of compliance, but safety as well. I know that after speaking to colleagues in the wider media industries, that the self-censorship is definitely happening, but also it comes from a place of fear. Yes. About the things that could happen, the repercussions, because there are certain people who will threaten the lives, the safety of people who say one thing or the other, and it comes from all sides.
That is very true. I have been asked not to include something in a program, and I fought back, and the producer said, actually, we've done this before, and we have a female member of staff who was followed home.
Wow.
And that stops you. That takes me off my soapbox. Here I am, free speech, everyone. And wow, okay, you have to step down and go, okay, that's really serious. And that's what's happening. You're right.
And it that then takes you back to that judgment that the world is a bit of a dumpster fire at the moment.
There are real world repercussions for these things. And compliance is also doing a very good job of protecting people in those circumstances. I do get that. This is not a war against compliance, but it is an argument for an intelligent discussion with compliance to say that these things mustn't be accepted and mustn't censor us.
We must be smart enough to find a way to make it work.
Yes.
Surely by now.
Absolutely. Otherwise, if the broadcast media is... I mean, what we see happening is in America, where the broadcasting institutions are being sued and closed down, and like Jimmy Kimmel being taken off air and stuff like that, the government is violently swinging against them and winning. And we know that there are people in this country using that as a playbook for how they will act when they get elected in, which is approaching towards us like a steamroller.
Yeah, you've spoken about sort of like the what you've termed as the that steamroller of a possible reform government, which some people in our LGBTQ plus community a lot are worried about just because of their perceived stance on LGBTQ plus rights, not only trans people but L and G and B people, anyone who's outside of that,
yes, absolutely,
that heteronormative world.
And which affects straight allies. That's our straight allies, the lovely straight people we love and work with and spend every day with. That's their life as well. They should be equally worried about it. Absolutely. It's on its way.
Yeah. Let's take you back to... Well, I mean, first, we talk about all that sort of stuff in the context. It sounded horrible, but it should be remembered that, this conversation has come about by a wonderful accolade that you've received about the important work that you do, which does go a lot of way to representing our community and breaking down those
starting, 26 years now, is it, since Queer as Folk, which was shot, 500 yards from where we're sitting now. And I'm back there filming now with this new show, Tiptoe, and I'm so delighted to have been part of this community. And I have annoyed so many people here at the same time. And look how that stopped me. I mean, I think I am a living example of don't let them stop you.
It's an example we can all follow, I think. We'll get into a bit of Tiptoe. Well, the little tidbits of
Tiptoe.
Try
saying that 10 times a day.
But something that I mentioned before we started chatting today is the 10-year anniversary of one of your other massive contributions to LGBTQ plus representation on the small screen, I suppose. Did they call it that, the small screen?
Yep.
But small, definitely not in impact, because 10 years on, cucumber, banana, and tofu, it's an actual three programs you made, but it's 3 in 1. Honestly, I used to love it when I'd watch Cucumber and I'd be like, right, I've gone to E4 and watch Banana, and then I'd get the tofu on the digital, whatever it was called, 4OD at the time.
Yeah, it was a cheeky show.
Yeah, fabulous. And you did. I mean, you've spoken about it because you Manchester Pride over the summer. You did a Q&A celebrating the 10 years of the show as part of Scene Festival.
Yeah.
But I wanted to sort of not let that go. I don't feel like it's been sort of spoken enough about. Everybody always mentions about Queer as Folk, Queer as Folk, Queer as Folk. It's been around the longest and definitely had a huge impact. You know, like we'll never forget at 9 p.m. on Channel 4 what that first scene, one of the first scenes were.
Oh my God.
Quite, you know what I mean?
Happy memories. Those are the days.
But I feel like, you know, for a lot of people, it continued to make an impact with cucumber, banana, and tofu. Like, how do you feel now, 10 years on from that? Do you still feel about it in the same way that you do as Queer as Folk, or do you feel about it differently?
Oh, I love it. I mean, I do see it as one great big body of work, and I'm very lucky to be able to say that. Queer as Folk, Cucumber, it's a sin slightly outside the bracket because it's set in London and it's historical, but nonetheless, it's they almost put them in a different chronological order. You get It's a Sin, which is the 80s, Queer as Folk, which is the 90s, Cucumber, which is the 2000s, and now coming up to today with Tiptoe Now. So I've kind of, oh, look, I didn't realise that. I've spanned 4 decades. If you put them in that order, what a body of work that is, of gay life, and male gay life in particular. I do realise there are lots of other voices out there. I do think I'm very lucky to do what I do, and sometimes people think I've excluded other voices just because I'm noisy and sitting in the middle, and there we go. I've done, I'll try my bit to spread those voices. But no, I love Cucumber, and I adore it, and it's a strange show because it sometimes it doesn't quite live in the memory quite so well because it always suffered a problem, which I also think was its strength, which is, what's it about? It's about life. I mean, I got a chance to talk about everything these days. I saw an audition speech the other day, which was someone doing Julia Hesmondhalgha's speech from episode 5, I think it was, which is about how schoolgirls have to take photos of themselves, naked photos of themselves, as currency in schools, because that's what the boys demand. And I watched that speech thinking, God, I was off on one, wasn't I? I mean, that's what Cucumber is. It's about everything. It's about modern life, and it's about a middle-aged gay man whose relationship breaks up. And through that, I got a chance to talk. I was very lucky. I got 8 episodes to talk about everything that was bugging me and about middle-aged gay life. So it's not the most exciting subject. Let's be face it. You want to watch the sexy boys of Queer as Folk running around. That's absolutely true. You can't deny that. But there was a lot more appeal in that. That's how television works. That's what I watch. If someone's got a sexy face, I'll watch that show on Netflix. I'm in. So I can't deny that. And I'm not saying my cast aren't sexy. But nonetheless, beautiful Vincent, beautiful Cyril. But nonetheless, they're middle-aged men. So, but I love it. I'm immensely fond of it. And Cucumber was an hour long. It would be followed by Banana, which took secondary characters and told their stories for half an hour. And that had people like Letitia Wright was in it, who was now in the Black Panther films. There's some great, Charlie Covell, who then went on to make Chaos for Netflix. Great talents in that. Matt Barry, who's now writing The Guest, wrote one of those. Banana had much more diverse stories. It had lesbian stories. It had neurodiverse stories. It had a trans story, a character played by Bethany Black. So it was intended to show a much more diverse range of life other than my gay men who keep on cropping up. And I'm immensely proud of that. I carry that show in my heart with enormous pride. I love it. I'm kind of biased because I haven't made anything I don't like, to be honest. And if I didn't like it, I would have disowned it. I would have. I mean, I'm here to make them so I like them. But so I'm lucky in that sense. But yeah, I worked hard on that and I loved it very much.
I've got a couple of questions off the back of that, actually. First of all, just at the risk of comparing them both, one of the things that I also liked about Queer as Folk was the soundtrack.
Oh, God.
Would you compare that with Cucumber? Because it didn't really focus as much on that, did you? It was more about the life.
No, it's literally Queer as Folk is younger and sexier.
Yeah.
Those boys are out in nightclubs, and that's the soundtrack. Sexy boys playing. All those tracks, all those needle drops are fantastic and brilliant.
Did you have a hand in selecting those? Then?
Some of them, yes, I think so. Yes, I certainly used OT Quartet. That builds like a skyscraper mix. At one point they edited episode 3 without that, and I went nuts because it's written around that track. I actually listened to that track 1,000 times and played that. I love that track. It's a real massive club anthem in a really, really sexy sequence where everyone's copping off and it's intercutting lots of different stories. But Cucumber is more middle-aged. They're more likely to. They are. In episode 6 of that, it's one character playing Annie Lennox for his whole life. Not that I'm calling Annie Lennox. She's wonderful, but that's not going to get you up and dancing quite so much. Or leaping about the living room. So again, the music tracks fit each show, really. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Would you say then that the shows that you've done that you mentioned already, It's a Sin, Queer as Folk, Cucumber Banana Tofu, are they in technically the same universe? Because I
like to think so. I like to. There's a moment in Cucumber where Hazel from Queer as Folk, lovely Denise Black, turns up.
That's what made me think. I was like,
is she really there? It's kind of a bit ghostly and a bit supernatural on episode 6 of Cucumber. Is one of the greatest things I've ever written, Frank. I won a BAFTA for that episode, and I'm just saying that because I'm so proud of everyone who's in it.
Yeah.
And Denise is
I
wonderful.
loved it when she popped up.
Oh, it's stunning. So I kind of think, I do think everything I write is in the same universe. I think the Daleks could come out of a corner at any moment, frankly. And wouldn't that be a good Canal Street drama? The screaming. Oh, my days. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Wouldn't you love to see that?
Just as a queen. Dalek with little eyelashes on.
No, those queens would beat the Daleks, let me tell you. They'd sashay them to death. But I do think if these Canal Street characters had gone to London in the 1980s, they could have bumped into Richie. And in my head, that's alarmingly true.
Yeah. So I guess that leads on to Tiptoe. Would you include that in the universe?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There aren't any links, but except for Canal Street. Yeah. It's out on Canal Street. And actually, it's the first drama, surprisingly, it's the first drama I've written that's really set on Canal Street. The lead character, Leo Struthers, played by Alan Cumming. The marvellous Alan Cumming. How lucky am I? Alan Cumming! Played by Alan Cumming. Alan Cumming, everyone!
And he's here right now. No,
oh, my God. He's half a mile over there filming right now. He actually runs a bar on Canal Street, which we've shot in the church, but it's called Spit and Polish on screen. It's a good name, isn't it? Spit. Just sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? Without actually being rude at all.
It'd be rude if it was spit or polish.
Yeah. Oh! That's giving away too much of your life. So actually, he works there, and he's got his staff. I love his staff. We've got so many characters in it. He's got his DJs. He's got his bar staff. He's got his manager. I spent a long time. I went into Bar Pop with John Hamilton there, and spent a long time researching this, like watching, because I'm a lazy man. I've been out of the house in years, but I actually work behind a bar. The temperature, the speed of it, the fact that the words they use, the phrases they use. That sort of stuff. I went to the drag brunches. People must have gone to these drag brunches thinking, "Who's the old man in the corner? Is that Santa? What's going on?"
What, did you go incognito with like a
well, I kind
beard?
I kind of sat to the side. I thought, well, I can't join in because that's cheating, and I don't know who they are, and I'm not going to drag up. So I was
going to thought we were going to get some like baby queen shout out.
I missed a trick there, didn't I?
Yeah,
I should have dragged up. Oh my God. Well, it's not over yet, so give me time. So it's bringing. So half of the show is actually set on Canal Street, which is the other characters just visited it. Queer as Folk, they'd go there and get drunk. In Cucumber, they did go there once or twice just to say, "Oh, I feel old. My knees are creaking." But this is actually set there, and I'm really delighted. It feels like it's taken me 25 years to actually say, right, we're here now, in an interesting Canal Street where. Some people say, "Oh, everyone goes to the Northern Quarter now," and "Oh, the times are gone when you'd have a street that's gay." But equally, sometimes in the right mood, in the right weather, you walk down that street and it's as gay as ever. And I love Pride. I go to Pride every year, and I love walking up and down that street. Joy and the energy of it. So yeah, back there at last. I'm back.
Yeah, wonderful. And we're really excited to see it, which is coming to our screens, Channel 4, early next year.
We don't know early. I mean, we don't finish filming until December. Then it takes months to edit it.
Chop.
Come on, get on with it. I would say maybe late spring. I mean, the thing is, we're trying to get it as fast as we can because it has got a lot to say about the world. Even the other day, there's a line of dialogue that mentions Keir Starmer. And I sat there and I went, maybe we better change that to the legacy of Keir Starmer in case he's gone. Because that's the way we're heading, isn't it? You can't guarantee anyone.
A week's a long time in politics, never mind 6 months.
Everything moves so fast, but the topical nature of everything they talk about, and it's a very angry piece. It's furious. It's absolutely furious, and it's very funny, and it's very fast, and it's very sexy as well. But oh my God, I was angry writing this. Because of the state of the world that we're in. So, we need to get that out. We need it to be seen. It's a little bit like Queer as Folk meets Years and Years. It's a show I did about what's going to happen in the future. And it's a little bit, it is set now, not in the future, but it's got that years and years edge of like, what if this gets worse? What if this gets exaggerated? What if action is taken over this? Where will we end up? So, I'm properly excited by it. I know it's my job to sit here and advertise these things. And it is, but literally, I came running into this interview. I'm dying for people to see it. I'm so proud of it. The cast is so magnificent. And I think it works. It's early days, but I really think it works.
I mean, one for the Huns as well. Denise Welsh in it, too.
Denise Welsh, God bless her. I know. That's wonderful. I love her. I've known her for 20 years. I used to see her out at Canal Street in the 90s. I worked with her then husband, Tim Healy, a lot on a show called The Grand at Granada. Happy days. I love Denise. And she plays a lovely part in this. She'll take you by surprise, I think. She could properly act, Denise. Remember when she came into Coronation Street and Sally slapped her and she ripped up that marriage? It was like, she's amazing. We forget that she can act so well. So it's a real delight to see her in action.
So just to finish off, what do you want people to feel when we finally get our eyes and ears around Tiptoe? Because you said you were angry writing it. Do you want people to get angry?
Yes. I think angry is a funny word because I want them to be involved. I think television is often very passive, and that's fine. Look, we all want to sit there. I watched Alan Partridge at the weekend. Let's sit and have a laugh. That's brilliant. That's fine. But I don't think all television can be like that. I think sometimes it has to poke you. And, we've got Sally Wainwright's Riot Women coming up. And I love Sally, and she writes so well. And you just know that's going to get you on your feet, kind of angry about women and the menopause and how women are treated and how invisible they can become in middle age. I can already see that written into the warp and weft to what Sally's written. That's who she is. She gets angry about things and comes out in her passionate writing. So I hope the same for this. I hope you'll love them. I hope you'll love the people involved. I hope you love the characters. I hope you feel fear for them and joy for them. And then as a result of what happens to them, feel motivated to do something about the world. That's being very vague there, but it's a little bit too soon to talk about it in detail. Next year, I'll come back. I'll just stay, shall I? Let's arrange my show. Let's sack Lee. He's old now.
I think he'd quite willingly give up his Sunday afternoon slot just for you.
He's old and a little bit tatty. And here I am. So I'll stay here, but next year we will come and talk about it properly because we'll try and get the actors in as well and stuff like that because I'd love it.
Just if you're listening, you don't know what RTD's talking about. It is the lovely Lee Barnes on a Sunday afternoon.
The tatty Lee Barnes.
Wonderful.
I love him so much. These are merely defence mechanisms because he can never be mine. Which is made very, very clear.
I think his fella will have done as well. But no, Russell, thank you very much. And congratulations once again on your outstanding contribution from BAFTA Cymru. Yes, welcome back anytime. In fact, just park yourself in corner.
I will, love. The little Russell corner. Chuck a bucket of water in there in a Mars bar and I'll be happy. Thank you, love. Thank you, Gaydio. I love what you do. You're an amazing force for good in this community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Feelings mutual.